Bring a Trailer podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Bring a Trailer podcast. My name is Alex Porter. I'm joined here by Randy Nonnenberg, Howard Swig, and Zach Beatty. How are you, gentlemen?
Full crew in the house.
Full house.
Full house. We are going to do one of our single-year car garage games today, which got really good feedback last time. So we're going to do 1995 this year. My compatriots are scrambling on their phones here, or at least one of them.
It was a total bloodbath on social of who won, and the consensus was that I lost.
Because hopefully not because you chose your dad's.
No,
MGP.
not because of that one in particular, just because of absurd choices. And I think your guys' choices were far better than mine. So well done.
So Randy's coming out the gate swinging this episode.
Totally.
When I said, do you want to join Randy? He said, I know all my answers when I said here.
That was false. But I'm close. I'm
the
working
only
on it.
false part about that was you hadn't said the year yet. He just went from 1899 all the way to 2024.
I've got all my choices.
That's
logged.
right.
Yes.
That's right. But before we do that, we are all recently back from Monterey Car Week, and I think it would be a mistake if we didn't talk about that a little bit. Howard, you were down there all week. How was it this year? It felt crowded to me.
Well, first off, it's great to be back on the podcast. We got a full house tonight. It's been a few months since I've been on. Honestly, I think my guy Beck has kind of lapped me in the podcast pecking order, which is very well deserved. But good to be back in the studio with you guys. I thought it was great. We had a new location at the track this year. I think bigger is not always better, but bigger is better when you scale that with more awesome cars and awesome people. So I love the increased footprint we had. We had darn near 400 cars, probably 1,000 people. Met a bunch of folks who I've been trading emails with for 5 years, never met. They strolled up to the tent, chatted with them, and I thought it was killer.
Yeah, shout out to Rare Cars, whole fam in Rare Cars t-shirts front and back. That was pretty solid.
And in a currently live 7 Series that he brought them all there. Is that right? Did you see his car?
I didn't see him in the fam.
Yeah, it has like now live on BAT, and he had, I think it was an E23 7 Series or some other BMW. Anyway, he rolled in. He's like, my whole crew's here.
I love that they made those shirts in child sizes. Awesome.
Totally.
Nonnenberg clan was there all too, which was very exciting to see. Randy, these alumni gatherings are really a passion project of yours. How did you feel about it?
I thought it was very cool. I thought it was our biggest yet. I mean, second place is probably Laguna Seca last year, but some others in other parts of the country are starting to rival them. But I love Laguna Seca. I love the races. Like a lot of people come to Monterey Car Week for, revving supercars by the ocean or whatever. I'm not as into that. And the races and the racetrack paddock and the corkscrew and these sort of things have always been my favorite moment of Monterey Car Week and still are. So anyway, being there and bringing a bunch of BAT alumni there is very near and dear and special to me. And people expressed a lot of appreciation, right? Because we've expanded it and it was still free for everybody to roll in and food for everybody and t-shirts for everybody and some cool services. People were getting their cars detailed on site by Adams. And we had some cool components to it that I think still made it special and feel like treatment you don't really get anywhere else in Monterey, which is whatever it is, $2,000 to go, eat caviar at the Quail or whatever it is these days. It's a pretty different feel of BAT and that's okay. Not everything has to be super over fancied. This is just sort of cool grassroots cars and car racing.
I totally agree. I love how unpretentious our event feels that whole weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like a nice break from all that crowd. And us taking over what was formerly the Land Rover demo display area where people would take the current Range Rover on a little off-road course and Randy just parking the GMC right at the highest peak up there. That was my favorite part of the entire event.
And the tri-tip Sandos we served were absolutely fire, I got to say. I went back for seconds and was turned away. They told me everyone has to get their first round first before I can come back.
Ooh,
you must have ate mine.
Delicious.
I didn't get one. They were down to turkey only by the time I got
Did you try
there.
flexing your handicap placard to get another round?
Yeah, no, this was the first year I didn't even set foot in the paddock. I was at our BAT event the whole time, and it was awesome. The bigger you get, the more that parking and the scale and special sauce around that becomes ever more difficult. And I thought our staff who parked the cars did an amazing job. I know that's not the sexiest topic to the parking, but once you get it all staged and you appreciate having that done right.
It was fantastic. It was absolutely chock full, really interesting cars. The spot was more interesting this year, I thought. Allowed for a more dynamic looking show, Howard, to your point. I also really liked that there were so many kind of mini BAT becomes larger and larger, a show of its own. So many mini vendors inside our spot, Randy, which I thought was really awesome. Michelin, and you already mentioned Adams. And what was the trailer company that we had there?
We had Futura trailers
Futura, that's
there,
right.
which, people who buy on BAT get a deal on those now. That's a trailer partner of ours, which is those cool lowering aluminum trailers. They had one, they were doing demos and showing people what they're like. To see those in person, I saw a couple cars coming down the freeway on them, but then to see it at our show and how it works and why it's an interesting sort of newcomer to that space. But it's cool to have them on site.
Totally.
I love to almost double the volume of cars and have it be as awesome as ever. And we could talk about favorites. There was that Healy with that pretty sweet hardtop that was parked towards the front. The blue GT40, which was probably some super performance deal. That definitely turned my head when that rolled in, and just a ton of awesome stuff.
Faves for you, Zach?
I'm most curious. I should do a better job of this next year of asking people or maybe getting people to write it down when they check in. But who drove the farthest for that event? I think would be really cool to find out.
Last year, we had an East Coaster that drove to Laguna Seca, like Florida drove to Laguna Seca in the BAT alum car for the event.
Yes,
We
that's
had
what I
somebody
want to hear
at
about.
Pittsburgh that did that as well, that drove from really far, but I didn't hear a particular story.
Somebody
of that
towed a
this year.
project really far one time on a trailer, as I recall.
Really?
Like drove from Utah that morning, or like woke up at the night before and basically drove all the way in. That's a really good one, Zach. Could be an award for that. Longest drive. They do that at some clubs. When there's
Awards,
the
we
annual
need
meet.
more grill badges.
Totally. I thought it was really successful overall. Great racing. Your brother won his class, I believe, Howard. Isn't that right?
He did. He was driving the 59 Scarab Mark I, which was exciting. A car he's driven before. And we always have a lot of love for that big bore 50 sports car group. And I was watching him, cheering him on. He won his race. So that was cool to see.
Totally. Randy and I saw one of the Scarab Grand Prix cars at Meetup. We had a little
We definitely went to
Meetup day.
Meetup to watch how it's done on the other side of the universe.
Yeah, the other folks.
The other side of the coin, because there were some funny cars there. But no, there were good cars all over the peninsula. And it's just fun to get to choose your own adventure and go find some different things to do and run into friends everywhere. And a lot of love for BAT at a bunch of the different events, which is exciting.
Great staff hang too. Shout out to all our colleagues who were there. We had a really fun dinner. Zach, any other interesting stuff you did on the peninsula when you were down there?
Man, I don't have too many highlights. I just like cruising around Monterey and seeing what's buzzing about. You never turn your head for this or that supercar. I think at one point, like 8 Koenigsegg's drove by me in another lane. You just kind of roll your eyes. But the vintage cars are usually the most special and interesting to see. I saw 3 different HF Fulvias, which was pretty wild. It's rare to see one on the road, let alone 3 in 3 different locations. I saw 288 GTO was parked in Carmel. That was pretty strong. I'm trying to think what other highlights and heat I saw buzzing around. I saw 4 AMG 6x6s all running in a crew.
I saw that on social.
Saw that crew.
Somebody posted a video of, oh my goodness, like end of the world. Here
it feels ominous. It wasn't a great sight, honestly.
It was like a caravan of them driving around.
Yeah, I think they're trying to track down their pet tiger that got loose.
There were like bros hanging out of every window. We saw them downtown. It was like, even I took a picture. I don't take pictures that often in Monterey anymore, but even that was like, wow,
that's Vape City 6x6
100%.
caravan.
Yes. I believe there were Middle Eastern license plates on some of them. That program.
But no, Monterey has become such a circus and so oversaturated with events. There's not literally a 30-minute time window where you can fit another event in there. So I'm super proud that we have built up this Saturday alumni gathering at the track that seems to be really awesome. And some people, design their weekend around
100%.
it. And I think it's worthwhile to do so. So it's cool that we've made an event in that weekend that sticks and that people really like.
Totally.
Well, I'm trying to avoid patting us on the back too much, but I will say my absolute favorite thing that we do is the Corkscrew shuttle. I think that's so nice and just a cool perk. Everyone this year, this is the second year we've done it. And last year we did it in Rivians. And I had multiple people come up to me and go, where are the Rivians?
Oh, I had the same point of view. But the Suburbans we ran people up in looked a little Men in Black, looked a little governmental, but they were very comfy and they had great AC and, cruising up and down the hill. I took my kids in the shuttle up to the top. I was like, you guys have it so easy. We used to have to hike up the top in the dirt with your high tops and whatever. And by the time you're up there, you're sweating and everything else.
Yep.
They're like riding up in an SUV. I was like, where have I gone wrong? Dreadfully wrong. But it was a great service and people loved it. People up top were talking about like timing their next race based on when can I shuttle up and down. And yeah, shout out. We stole that idea from Rensport. Rensport did a good job with that 5 or 7 years ago with some cars of theirs, and they were driving people up. And I was like, that's the key setup. You got to do that. And the track doesn't do it. So we show up to do it one day a year.
That's the ticket.
The line was getting long.
I saw that. We may need 3 shuttles next time.
6. I mean, we need a bunch. We were at the top. Yeah, we were at the top, and it was like, okay, they're going to come up in 7 minutes. Feels pretty long.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not that long, but it feels pretty long. But anyway, that's a cool thing. The Corkscrew is so key. We had 2 tents up there. We were giving away free drinks and folding chairs for people to sit in and watch. And you ought to go watch the live stream. I don't know if you guys watched the live stream of the racing, but you can see our whole Corkscrew setup. You can see the welcome tent. They have a camera at turn 5 under the bridge, that whatever health random sponsor bridge. And the BAT welcome deal is right underneath it.
Oh, strong.
And then they do a huge drone flyover of turn 3 and 4. And you can see our whole thing all full of people. So it's pretty neat.
Awesome.
What do we have at the Corkscrew? We had a little hospitality tent up there. I didn't make it up.
We had 2 of the BAT tents up there side by side. Oh. We had table, we had beverages, we had snacks, we had something like 30 or 40 like camp chair, like soft chairs to sit in and set it up there. They expect you to just sit on the dirt like everybody has for decades, right? And so we kind of tried to elevate it beyond that a little bit, and people were pumped. People like marked their chair for the day, right? Like they'd go, I was like, wait, did this person go down to the paddock and they're still claiming this? So anyway, we were doing some expectation management up there, but it was all free. And for everybody there for BAT and some others that weren't even there for BAT, we're hooking them up.
I was doing check-in and I teased it to every person and they were all excited. So maybe I teased it to too many people. But to your point, Howard, a tremendous number of folks, when I was checking them in, were like, this is the best event of the whole thing, which like we've heard that sporadically before. I've certainly never heard it in kind of en masse like I did this time. Tons of people saying that. Really proud of that.
Lagunatich says that every single time. He's one of our favorites. He's coming. He's loyal and he loves that event. And he shows up in a Aurelia he showed up in a Ghost. He showed up in some sort of pre-war Rolls or something crazy.
He got the primo parking spot too in that thing.
We had those 3 pre-war cars around the tent.
The leather-bodied Bentley.
Like, what is going on with these like crazy old cars? We're getting a good mix. So anyway.
Very good mix. Really proud of what we've done with those. We've got a couple more coming up. We've got a meetup, Randy, which is like a little bit more cash coming up in Detroit. And the date on that is, remind me again?
September 8 in Detroit at the Proving Grounds.
Correct. The old Packard Proving Grounds, right? Isn't it? I think it is.
Correct. Sunday. Getting people out on a Sunday.
Sunday. Does not require registration for that anyway. So that's just show up if you want to. The more the merrier.
I'll be there.
You're going. Great.
That's going to be ground zero for, again, meeting people I've been emailing with for 10 years, and we're finally going to slap hands. It's going to be good.
Some Michiganders. We're going to have them, and people are going to come from far and wide for that one. I think that Proving Ground location is cool and easy access and sort of old-timey, and it's a great place for a car show.
Yeah, super excited about that one. And then I think first official tease here, we've got another full alumni gathering coming up October 19th. In New York, not really upstate. What would you call that area? Westchester.
Yeah. North of New York by maybe 30 minutes in a super nice rural grassy spot, which is going to be, need registration on the site. So keep an eye out for the announcement on BAT. And we want as many alumni cars there as we can get. And there's going to be plenty of room. So we're excited for that one.
Should be cool. You going to that one too, Howard?
Yes, sir.
Zach?
I'll be there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man, I'm going to try to come. You guys are all going to be there. Awesome. Anything else on Monterey or events, gentlemen, before we move on to 1995?
I don't think so. I think we got to dive in.
Let's dive in. All right. So quick refresher for folks who didn't hear it last time. This is a game where we go around the horn and each of us choose a car from 1995 in 5 categories. So there's going to be 20 cars selected total, 4 of us, 5 cars each. The categories are sports car, family hauler, truck 4x4, daily driver, and a wild card. So we're going to go around the horn and talk about our choices here. We can vote again on socials to see who won. Hopefully we'll get great engagement on the site post like we did last time too, with people throwing their own lists in. Looking at 1995, earlier today, we had 12 cars live on BAT from 1995, and we've had almost 3,200. We've listed almost 3,200 cars from 1995 over the last 10 years.
This is cars we want today, not if we were in 95 and they were new.
That's unclear. Follow your heart.
Car you look at it in terms of being in 95.
Yeah, I think it's Time Machine.
Okay, because I think like a Tupac Notorious B.I.G. 750 IL is cool in 95, but I don't really want to drive one today.
I
How
kind
did
of
we
like
do the last list?
No,
Like,
I've been looking through it through the lens
of being in 1995.
California love and rolling that thing around.
Great.
when new. Okay.
When new.
I don't know if I was thinking of it that way. I was almost thinking of like ripping across San Francisco today.
I mean,
in a
it's
family hauler.
it's hard.
From 95.
I think it's right to think about it in period, but it's hard not to let your latter day kind of prejudices color it a little bit, or things that you've been interested in, things you've seen.
I'm doing it from today.
Great. That's totally fine.
I think both ways have high overlap, unless you had like some identity crisis
Yeah.
between then and now. Like I think
My recommendation to you, we're not going to have overlap. So if somebody else gets your car, you got to have a backup. But other than that, follow your heart. Like it's going to be a cooler list.
My identity crisis has been consistent across all decades.
okay, and
even
well,
playing
every few years you got to have one.
Also,
right?
these guys are so young. I mean, I was like, Randy, how old? I was 13 in 1995.
I mean, I was a junior
So
in high school, and so I was stoked on cars,
Right.
and you guys were not.
I was
around.
just starting to get excited. You were
Yeah.
a baby, Zach. How old were you in 95?
I'm embarrassed to say
Say it.
I was 4 years old.
4 years
in
old.
1995.
Yeah, so not quite, car bug hadn't quite bit yet.
No.
What about you, Howard?
You
How old were
weren't
you?
a certified car guy yet at 4.
No, not certified.
I was the ripe old age of 6.
Mm.
Sorry, 7.
But you were cruising around in cars with your dad, and you probably were too, Randy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was driving my own car in 95,
Yeah,
dude.
amazing.
I was cruising around.
Great. Fantastic. All right. I promised Zach he could go first. So, Zach, why don't you select the first category and
I'm
then we'll all
anxious.
follow you.
95, I heard it and it sounds like a year that should be easy because I like so many cars of that era. But I actually was having some difficulty finding stuff and feeling like there was going to be a lot of overlap between us. So Randy claims he knows a car that's on all of our lists,
For sure.
which I'm curious
No,
about.
you guys got to go, and then I get to say whether that was the one. I'm not gonna. See
No,
with
he's
that.
not going to reveal anything.
Go for it.
We don't
Okay.
have to start there, but I mean, the minivan situation in 95 was pretty amazing. So I don't want to steal
I
your
was-
thunder, but
I was looking at vans. So this is self-imposed. It's not how everyone else operates, but I only pick stuff that's been on the site. So that limited my options a little bit. And we haven't had that many good Grand Caravans from 95. But I'll start with trucks.
Trucks
So
and
I think this
4x4.
has the highest likelihood of getting taken. My truck for 95 would be a Range Rover Classic, 25th anniversary.
Totally. I wanted that one. Oh.
No brush guard, 25th anniversary. Gets the black interior, which I think is the only year that gets it.
Short wheelbase.
Short wheelbase.
Short
is what I want.
wheelbase, soft dash, final year of that model, right? They ran the long wheelbase a couple more years, I think, didn't they? Or did they kill it?
I thought 95 was end of the run.
That
for
may be
those,
end
but-
of everything, but that's a winning choice. Well done.
Yes.
Would that have been your top choice?
That would have been mine for 4x4. Now I'm going digging. I'm
Interesting.
spinning the wheel.
I originally had it for family hauler, but then I decided I just had to jump
Yeah,
on it
there's some
and grab
crossover,
it.
so possibly you can get things in different category. Howard, are you ready on truck 4x4, or would you like me to go? I guarantee no one's going to steal mine, so I can go last.
for a minute I thought the Dakota 5.9 RT was 95, but it was later. So that's it was 95. This is really like 95 through 97 for me, this game. But no, I'll try to stick to 95. So I can't go 5.9 RT, but I'd probably go a Ram SST.
Oh,
Was that you?
I was going to choose a Ram, but I have a backup. But that's okay. That's great.
And
But
we
the
don't see a
Ram-
lot of those around BAT either. I was like hunting for them.
The Ram in 95 was the clear front runner of all those trucks.
Yes.
It was the most
The retro.
groundbreaking.
Yes.
It did the biggest changes. Ford still had that really square
Mhm.
end of the year. So I think
Chevys and Fords are kind of like holdovers by 95, but Ram is like the new one. And they look so, and I remember in 1995 as a teenager, there was a brand new one on our block and I loved it. It was a 3500 dually.
it was the big step forward in creature comforts for trucks like that.
Yes. Cummins 5-speed.
Did I steal your thunder with that?
No, that's okay because I have a backup that Randy may or may not like. Randy, you ready to go or do you want me to shoot?
You're going.
Okay. So I have a specific truck that I chose because I do like the Chevys from that era, the square two-tone Silverados.
Silverado, sure.
So I have specifically a 2023 auction here. It's a 1500 extended cab 4x4 green silver two-tone, 19,000 miles. It is lot number 100,370. So shortly after our 100,000. And it is just like a clean survivor truck, like square. I just
Like a
classic
rock.
90s
Like a
Chevy
rock.
green.
totally like a rock.
Totally.
Seeger all over
Bob
this.
Seger music and like a rock.
This could also be a daily,
Super
arguably.
Bowl
Like this could be a
commercial
daily
truck.
driver.
Oh, I
Man,
love
and
that.
none of them have low miles because they all got used up.
You need a horse trailer behind that thing.
No diesel for you?
If I had gone Ram, I would have gone diesel for sure. Cummins 5-speed. But this automatic fine.
Ooh, just
Totally
Winston
fine.
Cup Series, Earnhardt, Mark Martin,
Totally.
Ricky Rudd, everything.
All of
Totally. Window down, arm out the window.
Totally.
It's a good era for pickup trucks, the 1995. All right, ready? You ready?
I
Do we
love
need to
it.
vamp more?
No, man, there's so many good. I'm scrolling now. I'm reeling a little bit because Range Rover Classic was taken, which is a definite
95 is a tough year for trucks.
podium choice. No, there's whatever. Smaller SUVs are filtering through. So the NAS D90 was only for a few years.
So
And that was like yin and yang. It's either that or it's Range Rover Classic. And that for a 4x4, I have friends that have lived in Southern California by the beach and drove those when they were nearly new. And that's like a fantasy mode. I mean, that's solid, right? So
hardtop or open top?
I'm open only. And yeah, one of those were very, like, all my buddies and I like kind of looked down on those when they came out because they were kind of a banker's 4x4, right? It's like you paid $30,000 to drive a 4-wheel drive, right? When we were all driving $4,000 trucks.
Well, now
But-
that opinion's 100% accurate. It's just that the dollar is adjusted.
It's
when you
just
make that
times
claim.
times 3, right? But the cruisers and Scouts we were driving are now 30 and 50 grand, right? Which is insane. But those things are what, 80 grand. But it makes me smile whenever I see an actual scruffy one that sells for 43.5 or
Totally.
whatever. Because those are pretty great, and they have some problems. But I've always been a sort of secret fan of those. So I would do
What
that
color?
for 95.
Yeah, I was going to ask the same question.
Green works, white works, never yellow. Yellow is atrocious, but
I like yellow open top on those.
Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry, those are two like Jurassic
What's the
Park
blue called?
decals for me.
There's
Arles
Arles blue. That's
Arles
the one
blue
I
is
like.
popular and is a good look. My buddy has a black one, but it's called Beluga Black. That's a good look. There's a lot of cool colors, but yeah, I'm not a yellow Defender guy.
That was going to be my pick, but I thought I'd wait till 94 or 97.
Yep.
So.
Yep. 95's right in the middle. I think they got different taillights in 95. A couple little things that they worked out of the 94s that they
Get a
figured out
full
in 95.
tenth of the liter in 97.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Anyway, cool trucks.
Fantastic pick. All right, Zach, you're up again. What category do you want to do
You
next?
let me go first again? Isn't
Sure.
that-
Why not? Let's go around robin.
All right. Let's go family hauler.
All right.
I'm going to haul my family around in E34 M5 Touring.
Oh, no. Another one taken from me.
Wow, that's a good one.
I know. Ideally, I would have a red one, which is super uncommon in those, but the only red one we've had was a 93 and a Project. So I'm probably going to have to go with, I think we had a nice blue 95.
What about the
in last few
Elekta?
months.
That's the one I wanted, the green one that the guy brought by the office. Remember that
Well,
result from the
I still
early
have
days?
the photo
Yeah.
from the guy who
That
brought
car
it
is
past the office.
great. The interior color is not my first choice, though I love
Gotcha.
the exterior color. And I felt like M parallels are wrong for this game. It needs to be on 5 spokes. So
That's a fantastic car. Luckily, I've got some backups, but that's the one I want. I wanted that specific car. That was also the earliest auction I chose. But
E34 M5, I think, is the best looking M5.
yes, estate only though, right?
I love the sedans.
I love
Okay.
the sedan.
For me, family hauler, give me a tour.
Fantastic. Howard, family hauler.
I don't want to take someone's. I mean,
Go.
I'll do a few different options for this. I mean, I won't pick a minivan for family hauler, but mid-90s minivans were amazing. I mean, just finding a really clean Toyota Previa just puts a smile on my face every time. Mazda MPV speak to me because my dad saw them new. I was crawling around the dealership in the sliding door third row of those in 95. But yeah, I mean, I'd have to go 500E for family hauler.
Ooh, good one.
Or maybe it was an E500 by 95. I think it was. You
That
can
was
fact
the
check
end
me
of
on
that. That was the
but-
very
right.
bitter end of that W124 model, right? I mean, there's no 96 of those, right? But there was 95.
That's right.
Okay, that qualifies.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, 95, you get the limited.
Like a Rock could have been the commercial for that going back.
100%. Talking about those today. 225 square setup on the tires. One of our colleagues is thinking
Was
about.
that stolen from you, Alex? Because
That
I
definitely
also
was. Come on.
my second choice is also a 120. Okay, I need a ruling on this. Can I choose a different W124?
Yeah,
Or is that
absolutely.
too much overlap? What do you think?
No, you can do it.
Okay.
You get
your-
no 5
This one's
liter.
weird.
But if you choose the weird like 600 one or whatever,
No,
that's
no,
too
no.
close.
This
Get
is
your commuter
considerably
cabriolet
different.
on the list.
No, totally. I thought about that for sure. E320 cab as a daily. No, this one's weird. We've never listed one, but we had one on the non-auction days, so I think that counts. This is an E36 AMG wagon. So it's the engine out of the C36, but in a W124 wagon. They're rare. I didn't even know about them until I worked at BAT.
I just moved one through last week with like
did you really?
400,000 miles. Yeah, you'll see it.
Amazing.
You'll see it soon.
Okay, that'll be our first one for auctions. Pretty different than a 500e, 6-cylinder wagon, AMG, not sold here. And I think it's technically, we had the C36 here, which was the first factory AMG Mercedes sold in the US dealer in Mercedes dealers. But I think that one was sold. It's like not a pre-merger. That's like the first merger AMG. So there's my choice. It's a little bit, it's 2 W124s, but I think it's okay.
It splits the difference between both of our picks.
All right, Randy.
I'm close. Wait, which category are we talking
Family
right
hauler.
now? Man,
Which your last one would have worked for, by the way.
Yeah. Well, the Range Rover Classic was splitting hairs between both of those categories. I think I want to say E38 7, which is a model that I love very, very much. That one's a little early. My favorite of those is a model year 99 right? Yeah. Or even 2000. But I'll take that. I think that's a solid answer.
Great.
I was going to be controversial and veer into Acura Legend categories.
Interesting.
I thought you guys would destroy me for that one.
Yeah, family hauler, you need the coupe with the 6-speed.
Commuter. Yeah. You may need to use that in other categories, but I actually liked that. I was loaned one of those to drive to the junior prom, which was a brand new Legend sedan, which felt like a very fancy car. And I, went to the junior prom in a white one with a beige interior and felt like I was a baller in that car. But anyway, I'm not choosing that. I'm talking more about that than the one I am choosing, which is the BMW
E38.
Which is also
I or IL?
Family hauler, I'm going to go L.
I'm
going to go L.
Wheelbase. All right.
Because the later ones I like when they're the Sport and the M parallels. You couldn't get M parallels in 95, could you? I think that's a little bit.
I looked them up. This was also on my family hauler list. There people have swapped them on, but they're the little BBS wheels on those that year, which I kind of like.
Don't they have unpainted bumpers for 95 too?
So they have unpainted sills all the way until 98, maybe 99. That. And I actually prefer that look, and that's controversial with my BMW friends.
I like painted on those.
Yeah, dark color I like painted, but on a white car with non-painted sills, it makes it look slim. And anyway, I like it.
Zach's mid-90s Acura knowledge is unmatched.
I know, totally. I have a point of order question. I didn't choose this car. Would a Ferrari 456 count as a family hauler? Could you squeeze that in?
Yes,
or is that too extreme?
Argue, yes.
At the little back seat? Be interesting.
How many people are in your family, Alex?
Too many for my family. Unless somebody wants to sit on the transmission top.
How many people are in your family in 1995?
Work.
Yeah, right. Totally. Would have worked for when I was in the back seat.
Or what year is the Sultan of Brunei shooting brake?
I saw one of those in Monterey. That was probably the craziest car I saw. A black one. The 4-door wagon 456.
You saw one live?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right by our hotel.
I've never seen one of those cars.
I've only seen silver ones. It was black. Whoever I was with, I think it was Will Lee, was like, what is that?
I think I've seen photos of a dark blue one.
Maybe it was dark blue. It was dark. It was dark for sure. Yeah. Super cool spot. All right, Zach, where are we going next?
I think I'm going commuter, which
daily.
This may be a little controversial, but after last week's podcast, I'm opening and broadening my horizons.
I thought you were going to say after my W.
After his S800.
He's like, I got some room. I know I'm on the top of the podium.
Oh, there's so much pressure.
What are you going to go for?
I'm going to commute in a 1995 Toyota Supra Turbo 6-speed.
Oh,
okay, strong. Black. I know a guy in my current neighborhood, and it's black.
Oh, nice.
Who does exactly that? He commutes in a Supra with a wing with non-chrome wheels. That's stick.
My exact spec. 95 is target top only, which I want in one of those. Use your little key to take that off and toss it in the back, and just enjoy those nice long days and good commute miles with the top off.
I can't believe you didn't go Honda product of some sort and you went Toyota, which I love.
95, I think, is a down year for Honda products, in my opinion.
I thought about the Civic, an imported Civic SIR, but there's no SI that year for the Civics, and there's no Type R. It's interesting. There's NSXs. There's things to come.
It's what I would call a not great year for an NSX too.
It's tough there. Zach has 2 more choices. We'll see if a Honda ends up on his list or not. And I don't think anyone has chosen a Honda product yet.
Plus
it's about to flood in. You ready? Let's go.
All right. Great choice. And that would be a really fun daily. I'm kind of pro chrome wheels on those. I like it. That's like 1995 period.
Were they actually chrome? Were they polished aluminum or were they chrome? I think they were actual chrome.
I think you can get chrome wheels on those.
Oh my gosh. I can't stand that.
Auto and chrome.
They're so like non-logo and broad. It's like a mirror type finish. But I'm painted finish.
944 turbos with chrome wheels, 928s with chrome wheels. I'm in favor of all of it. All right, Howard, daily driver.
Yeah, I was hemming and hawing on this, but I think I was just going to keep it simple and choose like a nicely spec'd out Mark III GTI for me.
Ooh,
Mark
that's
III,
good.
what motor?
Interesting.
Let's go around the horn.
I mean, weirdo VR6, or are you 2-liter 4-cylinder?
Because I'm kind of an old man, I'd probably go the 4-cylinder, but yeah, for everything else, I'd probably do the VR6.
Mm-hmm.
It's that first year of VR6, right? 95?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so. That's good. They came in yellow. I love that. I didn't even have that on my list. And I think that's a really good choice. That's great. Randy, you ready or you want me to go?
You go.
Okay. I have a lot that came up, but I teased this on our text thread the other day. I'm going to go Taurus SHO, Taurus SHO.
And a 95 is a
95 is late.
Nice.
It's 3.2. It's like the .2 car, but they're almost all automatics. And I stuck to our results. And I think we've only sold one 95 5-speed. I really like red on those, but all of the red ones we've had.
but the red is often like a burgundy, like a crimson
there's
red.
a bright red.
Is there
too.
a real red?
Yeah,
on
there's
95?
a burgundy, but there's a bright.
I had a friend in high school that had a red one.
Is that
Yeah.
right?
Automatic,
Wow.
though?
His wasn't.
A
Yeah,
lot of
mo-
those started to have
Most of them
automatics.
are automatics. The early ones are all manuals, but we've had a couple manuals, and the nicest manual I could find was white, which I'll take. That's lot 9944, early days.
White's
much?
actually the best in one of those because it just looks like a fleet vehicle. It's
Totally.
so stealth.
The second generation SHO, or whatever you want to call it, the .2, they have those 5 or 6 spoke wheels instead of the early ones have like a basket weave on them. What were you going to say, Howard?
Slicer wheels.
What did that white one go for?
$7,600
Wow.
in 2018.
You should have scooped that up.
I know. They're still cheap. So that's my choice. Randy.
Man, there's so many. Wait, was there no Honda product? Hold on, we did
No,
Toyota,
still no Honda.
Volkswagen. What were you? Ford. Fomaco.
I have a Chevy, a Mercedes,
Wait,
and a
hold on.
Ford.
I got to
so
go
far.
back and look what Acura was producing in 1995.
Zach's got a
I don't know
Range
why.
Rover,
I mean,
a
the legend
BMW, and a
works.
Supra. That's pretty good for you, Zach.
Man, you can't just do 2 BMWs on my list for multiple categories. That just shows a lack.
E38 for every single
a lack
category.
of creativity. But man, I hate the Integra with the one everybody likes with the little headlights. It's like one of my least favorite cars. So man, you can't go that direction.
Told you, man. 95 is a tough year for Honda.
Yeah, I wanted the M3 sedan to be a thing, but it's not a thing. It's not a thing in 95.
Yes.
So you got to go coupe.
We haven't done sports car yet. I have a question on sports cars. Like, is an M3 a sports car?
I argue yes.
Okay.
Particularly before it got V8s and V10s
Yes.
and whatever.
This is
madness.
first year E36 M3
Um,
in the US.
yeah. Anyway, and I'm down with it. I'm looking at 95 M3s right now, and I love the way they look. So I am down with a non-yellow, non-purple coupe of most any other color. Probably white, black interior. I don't need a lightweight with the crazy flags over it. It's a little too much for me for a commuter. But yeah, let's do that. Let's do an M3.
I love it. It's my favorite M3.
Zach would take a yellow E36 M3. I think
Dakar,
that
yellow.
works on
The
that.
car is cool.
Yeah.
The blue is the best. I can't do
Estoril.
techno violet.
Yeah.
I have a tough
I don't
time with that,
understand
too.
the purple thing.
White is really good, though. Like basically
White's
your
nice.
E30 M3 that was at the event, except the E36 version.
White's good, but you want some more creativity sometimes, right? I don't know. The M3s have really good colors. The blue, to your point. The dark blue's good. The medium blue's good.
Astoral, is that
Yeah.
the blue?
Some people like but they came in weird, like copper colors and browns and weird
Yeah, you
rare
could get-
stuff too, right?
I think there's ruby stone for those
Oh,
years.
gosh,
There's some
really?
wild
Oh,
colors.
yeah. We've had some individual. We had a TI that was that, like basically ruby stone.
There's
from
some
the UK.
wild individual
Actually, hold
grains.
on. I'm out. Ditch the M3.
Okay.
You can keep talking colors if we need to. Audi S6 5-cylinder manual wagon, which was a
Ooh.
US spec car in 95. S6. We have a silver one live on the site right now. I almost fell on my face and picked another BMW, but we need an Audi WAG. And
Late save there. Randy.
Oh, you almost moved on, and I was like, "What category are we in?" Oh, I was going to grab it as wild card if needed, but no, we're in family hauler, right?
Yes.
Or no, commuter,
daily. Yeah, daily.
So that's
You can
that's the
commute in
car.
a wagon. Yeah, that works well.
Fantastic car.
You can use it when the BMW is broken to haul your family, or vice
Well,
versa.
it's going to break, but
Yeah,
it's
for sure.
It's a good one.
A lot of fragile cars on here. All right, Zach, we should go sports car next
Sports car?
because we can save wild card for the end. I have a freaking weird wild card. Guarantee nobody will take it.
I have a predictable and boring but great wild card that I'm nervous is going to get
You had a
taken.
really good one last time, that weird show car.
No, I don't have anything on that level this year. But for sports car, I went with a 95 993 Carrera RS.
Man, you and I are overlap. I'm going to go first next time.
Color?
Color, I want one in blue, but we haven't had that nice. I think it's Riviera blue for those years.
That like bright
So
blue. Yeah.
I'll take the yellow one we listed Germany earlier this year.
Speed yellow, right? On those?
Speed yellow, yeah. I don't need a club sport. I want the good fixed back seats. I need the good, tall, ridiculous wing, and that's my spec.
Great car. That was on my list. Howard, sports car.
I'd probably have to go F50.
Shoot. That was going to be my wild
Which
card.
is more supercar than sports car.
Nice. Okay, great.
No, that's sports car.
Do you
That
have a
counts.
backup, Zach?
I do have a backup, but man, the F50 is as good as it gets.
I wish the CLK GTR was 95, but it came a few years later.
What's that, like 96, 97, something like that?
99, I think.
98, 99, I think.
Really, really good.
F50 is so strong. I mean, one of the best sounding street cars of all time, right?
Have we listed one? I don't
Yeah,
think
we sold one.
we did. Okay, that's
we
right.
sold a high miler in Canada.
That's right.
Have
Canadian.
you ever seen one on the road not at Monterey Car Week?
Negative.
Yes.
Where?
I saw one dropping my blue 911 off at Ryan Turi's shop for service. And I think it was the power station bros on the freeway as I'm exiting.
Black
ripped by in the black one with the top off.
Yeah. He's tall. Yeah, I think he always has the top off of that car. That's a cool car.
Oh, it's so strong.
Yeah, I ran into those guys in Monterey this year, and they still have that car.
Ready? You ready? Or you want me to go?
I'm not even close to ready. I'm
I have a
scrolling.
huge list here, and I'm having a hard time narrowing it
I
down.
want multiple choice on the ones you don't choose.
Okay, F355 Berlinetta was up there for me. RT10 Viper. I'm not going to take either of those. I'm going to follow my heart. This is terrible choice. Second Chevrolet. I'm going to take a ZR1.
Okay.
C4.
Yes.
Okay.
Teal.
I'm so glad you picked
This
that.
one in particular, I just was looking for them. This is a low mileage car. We sold it for like 65 grand.
So they changed the wheels. The front fascia is nicer on a 95, but they ruined the wheels, right? Those 5-spoke wheels, the early, whatever it's called, little saw blade
I
wheels
like those,
or whatever
yeah.
that are deep.
Yes.
I like those so much on a ZR1. But those wheels, you like those?
I
5-spokes?
love these, and they
You
came
like
on
those too?
Camaro SSs too. I remember
Ooh.
really liking them in period. So this
The
is
Vet
me.
guys hated that. The Camaro guys love that.
This
They
is
got
me
the
paying
Vet
some
wheels.
tribute to my teenage self, who really liked the Camaros with these wheels. This is lot 127209. Teal. The later ZR1s have the better of the 4-cam motors, from what I've heard. I've always liked these things.
C4s, huh? Falling on the sword for the C4.
Yeah, that's
I love
that's a
C4s.
toughie.
That was the car I was hoping you'd pick before we started playing this game.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've just always been fascinated with them. And again, I like this exercise for me in particular, because I was like a tween. I was like 12, 13 in this era. And so I'm remembering seeing C4s, which at the time was like the tires were so wide on them, the whole clamshell lifted up. It was a really exciting car when they were new. All right, Randy, is that enough time?
Just some insight into my upbringing. I'm picking a 95 Mustang Cobra.
Ooh.
And I believe they had a Cobra R in 95, which is
They
pre
sure did.
4.6. That's a cast iron block 302 type block still. And I love those cars.
But it's the newer
They
body,
have a
but
rear
with the
seat
old
delete. They
motor,
have the
right?
ugliest dash and seat combo, maybe in any modern sports car. Are we
have
calling
to
that a
play-
sports car? You're taking a Vet, so I'm taking a Mustang.
We'll have to play the audio back because we literally just had this last conversation where I think the verdict was a Corvette is a sports car, but a Mustang is not a sports car.
Well, there was a debate and some funny comments and banter that I got involved in on the social post about, we said a Mercedes SL. We were debating its sports
Oh,
car.
yes, I
merits.
felt very
And
deflated
people
when
were
you guys
like,
shut
no,
me down.
It is not, absolutely. But a Mustang, I don't know. I don't know whether it is or not, but it's a performance car. And I love those.
Cobra's backseat or no backseat?
No backseat,
okay.
rear seat delete in the R.
Because we were talking about that, Zach, how the Shelby maybe counts as a sports car, but not a regular Mustang, right? Because once they start taking out the seats and they're racing them all the time and everything.
I'm fine with it. Sports cars
Me
such
too.
a loose.
I wrote it
definition.
down.
Just Randy was so opinionated with his Alpha Spider pick last time. I'm surprised he went Mustang for this one.
Oh, look, we just had one in Miss Reserve, man, at 45 grand. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, I love it. The first car, you know, those wheels are called Cobra R alloys, and everybody put them on their cheapskate Mustangs.
Of course.
But they were on that car first. And man, I like those cars a lot.
I was very deflated by the Pagoda is not a sports car situation. That was very personally that was personally hurtful to me.
Sorry, man.
That's okay.
I stand by it. I don't think it is.
I think everyone stands by it. I'm on an island by myself.
It's a sporty German car.
It only has 2 seats.
But it's not a sports. Well, maybe it's
and it's a convertible. Car. Anyway, whatever.
You can get that little jump seat as an option.
That's
there
true.
There you go. California model. Yeah.
Every 911 had back seats. Anyway.
Not my 993
That's
RS.
true. That's very true. Very true. All right. Wild cards. You guys ready? Everyone got one?
I am ready.
Okay. One honorable mention for sports cars for me. I was very tempted to pick a Lotus Esprit S4. It's the last of the 4 cylinders. That's just an honorable mention. I love those cars.
Those are aging well.
I needed
They're
like
real
an
pretty.
issue of Road and Track from February 95 before doing this.
Scroll the little thing in the back that shows all the road cars.
But what's on the cover, right? I mean, I bet there was an Esprit S4, you know?
Yes.
Those cars never run, do they?
No, never. That's why you need it in period when it's still under warranty. Probably was the shortest warranty period of all time. All right, Zach, you want to do your wild card first?
Yes.
You already got your prime candidate.
Well, I'm
stolen.
nervous this is going to get taken too. So my backup wild card after the F50 is off the table is an F355 Challenge, which in 95 you could actually get with a plate. And
street registered, correcto.
Yeah. So you could drive up to Ferrari Challenge events, run Ferrari World Challenge, and then drive it home.
Strong. What color? Red, yellow?
Red.
Very good.
I like the red. And those Speedline wheels are probably top 5 favorite wheel design of all time. They're just perfect. I love them.
Good. Really, really good. Howard?
I've got a weird one. I'm going Aussie wild card.
Whoa.
Holden VR Club Sport WAG.
Whoa.
5-liter V8. I guess that's what a Commodore. Technically an HSV, Holden Special Vehicle Unit.
But this is a sedan.
You could get sedan or WAG in 95.
Or a Ute maybe
for the Club Sport. You could get, all sorts of configurations.
Wow. Super strong. That's what would
They're
that
sick.
Would that have been, there's no LS yet. So an LT one, maybe it's the Corvette engine probably, right?
I would imagine. Yeah.
I got to know, what was your formative memory with that car? How did you come up with that?
I mean, just Holden Special Vehicles. If you run through their greatest hits, there's some cool ones, right? I just love Bathurst supercar racing, 90s, 2000s. It's all wonderful.
I was hoping you were going to bring up Bathurst. Seen those racing against what? Were there still Falcons? What was the Ford Australian car in the mid 90s?
I don't know. They made Falcons for a long time. I can't pick them out of a lineup though. They're like Bizarro World Falcons. I don't know what they are, but they raced some cool stuff down there.
They sure did. It's a great pick, Howard. That's exactly what Wildcard is for. Well done. You want to go, Randy, or
does
you
it
want me to go?
Need to have been on BAT or sold on BAT, or it's any car from the era?
It could be anything.
Okay, so I want like a very weirdly specific. So when I started searching for Wildcard, I searched BTCC 1995 and the Tom Walkinshaw Racing Volvo Wagon touring car. The only station wagon ever to run BTCC, and it's awesome.
The ones 850
WAG.
Sick.
Oh, yes.
Pioneer
that
audio
shot.
sponsorship.
Yes.
That was a 1995 car, to my knowledge. It may have been 94 and dragged into 95 season. They definitely raced Volvos in 95. And that car is in some museum in England and is such an absurdity that they ran that. And it makes me very happy every time I see it.
That's a great pick.
That's
such a good pick. Yeah. I think we had a tribute to that. Somebody built certainly with the cage all through the back. I
featured some weird ones in the early days that guys were trying to copy that car. And then there's guys with T5R wagons and stuff in the US. But anyway, I think Volvo wagons are a cool sort of UFO of a car,
Totally.
right? They're kind of an everyman car, but they're also kind of a weird choice.
Yes.
And taking them racing, I think, is absurd and awesome.
That's a very good choice. Randy, running and gunning, trying to be the winner this time.
I'm trying to step it up a little bit.
That's a crowd pleaser. I think you're pandering. You're pandering to the crowd.
Pandering. You're shocked that I would pick a Swedish car.
No.
I'm the only one in the room who's owned a Swedish car. Is that right?
I currently have a Swedish car.
Well, you were a Sonic guy.
I had a Saab once.
Yeah.
My wife's daily driver is a Volvo.
You have a new
smells
Volvo.
like
Howard's father owned a Swedish car dealership.
Did he?
Didn't you have Saab?
Could you not say it like that?
Did he have a Saab? Did he have a Saab?
Yeah, he rode Saab before they went into the ground.
Man, I didn't know that. I knew Italian and I knew Japanese. Mitsubishi, didn't he have?
Oh, he was dropping me off at school in 9,000 arrows, man. It was
sick.
It was good times.
That was
rad.
awesome.
Yeah.
No, that's an extremely good choice. I'm just jealous.
The
That's a
art
really
teacher
good one.
thought you were really cool,
Yeah,
but nobody
exactly.
else did, right?
Honorable mention, if you really want to nerd out, you wanted an F40, they were making F40 LMs as late as
interesting.
95.
Wow.
Ooh.
LM only.
I also thought about Diablos, which would fit in a lot of different categories because I love early Diablos. All right, we can wrap it up. Here's my wild card. This is the last pick. It is this car, which we listed.
Oh, yes. I saw
It is
that.
a 400 mile an hour Streamliner that we sold in 23. Lot
1995 model year, but you were
built in 95.
We do not have that in the. It's not a model year type vehicle, so it doesn't have that in the title.
But it
But it was built in
surfaces when you
95.
search 95.
Does it?
Yes,
Yeah,
comes
I
up on the
looked
95
across it
search.
last night looking
Yeah.
for pics.
Looking for them. Dude,
Yep.
I love
Lot
your research.
119er 595 went 409 one way, 385 the other on its two-way pass. Randy and I talk about this a lot. I've talked about it with you guys. Bonneville's like dream for me. 200 mile an hour club, awesome. 400 mile an hour club, even better.
Terrifying.
Terrifying.
Airplane on the
Totally.
sand, on the salt.
Totally.
And what's that thing powered by? Is it like jet or
Small
something?
block.
Small block.
With
Oh.
twin turbos on it and all
Normal.
kinds of
Okay.
power. Yeah.
Okay. What did we sell it for?
85 grand.
85 grand to go 400 miles an hour.
Yeah.
That's a good trade.
300 mile an hour club would be enough for me. Maybe I'd wimp out after 300. I think that would be good enough. Would you drive on a dry leg like that, Zach, at that speed?
Probably not in one
Yeah.
of those. That thing feels like a death trap.
Yeah, you
climbing
sit
into
so
that
low in
thing,
them. You just
but
have those little tiny windows to look out of.
I would do it in a car-based car, not one of these weird one-off crazy aero things.
A lot of times it's
Wow.
modified dragster chassis. I think they stretch it out and you have to have all kinds of special
Dude,
stuff
I'm
on it.
down. I think we need to do a BAT road trip out to the flats.
Ah,
and just-
love to
Yeah,
do
let's
that.
go drink some Coors Lights in Wendover and hang out.
Hell
right.
yes,
It's a
Wendover.
good time.
Yeah.
I'm
it
ready.
is.
It's always the weekend
Of Monterey, right?
before Monterey. But then there's also the wooden boat show, that same thing at Tahoe. So you can, if you're really clever, you can hit boats, salt, back from Monterey.
Oh, man, that would be epic.
Or you can just do the first two chapters and say, forget Monterey and do that. But our show's so good at Monterey. We got to
so
come
good.
back now.
I know. 2 weeks before is the bike week, which I saw some people were out at, but I really want to see the cars. But there's Streamliner bikes that go 300 or 400 too. That's even sketchier on two wheels. They have to have those little retractable landing gears so that they can stop because you can't put your legs
Stretch
down.
turbo Busa.
Oof. I saw one that had a Busa motor in front of the rider and another one behind it.
Nope.
And you're in like a tube.
Two-wheel
And
drive?
You can't, I think so. And you can't look
Wow.
out. You just have to look to the side and follow the line because you can't look forward because there's an engine in front of you. Ugh, anyway, great stuff.
Crazy.
All right. Do you guys want me to recount? I wrote everyone's choices down. You can read your own or I can read yours for you.
My favorite was the social post where they like got the pictures of all of them
Uh-huh.
and you did a scroll through. Anyway, sorry, I keep going back to that. But yeah, why don't you read them and give us the recap?
Zach for Truck 4x4, Range Rover 25th anniversary, short wheelbase. Family hauler, E34, M5 WAG in blue, preferably,
This is
as I
strong.
recall.
This is
good
gonna be
list.
hard to beat.
Red is
Red.
top choice, but we
Imola.
haven't had one.
Daily
Red flag.
driver for Zach, Supra Mark IV Turbo 6-speed.
Zach's going to win this every
I
week.
think so.
Just don't let me go first. We had so many of the
Yeah, I
same
shouldn't
picks.
have let you go first. Keep going.
Sports car.
Winner goes last. That ought to be the rule.
That is the new
Great,
rule
I
next
love
week
that.
in week 3. Keep going.
Sports car 993 Carrera RS and wild card F355 Chally. Really good list. Really good
That's
list.
such a Zach garage.
I
that
know.
whole thing.
I want that garage today,
It's
right
so,
now. Actually.
yeah, I kind of want the 95 garage.
No Honda product, but Supra is very strong. All right, Howard. Ram RT. I don't think you said the spec for truck 4x4, but I love that.
SST, isn't that the
SST.
spec?
You wanted SST. Okay. Family hauler E500, very strong. Daily driver Mark III GTI with the dad spec 2-liter 4-cylinder. Sports car F50,
Strong.
extremely strong. And a really good wild card. Holden VR Club Sport WAG.
I got to
Really,
look that
really
up.
good.
I honestly don't know what that looks like.
Yes, sir.
That's an extremely
I
good
just
list.
like the idea of opening the garage and seeing the 2-liter GTI next to the F50.
Yeah, that's a good combo.
All right, my list. Truck 4x4, Chevy 1500 Silverado 4x4, family hauler W124 E36 AMG WAG, daily Ford Taurus SHO. I'm definitely losing. Sports car C4 ZR1 in teal.
Good choice.
And wild card is the Bonneville Streamliner that went 400 miles an hour.
There you go.
Randall Nonnenberg, truck Land Rover NAS Defense. And I can't remember what you said. You said open or
D90 open.
D90 open.
For sure.
Family hauler, E38, BMW 740iL long wheelbase.
That's going to not score many points with the public. I'm standing by it. No,
people love
people
those.
Are going to
when they heard the
L,
L, they got really upset.
I know
but,
they did.
But I looked that one up too. No shorty sporty in 95. So
there you go.
Daily Audi S6 WAG manual.
Wow, I did 2 wagons.
Sports car Mustang Cobra. And you went R or no R?
Yeah, Cobra R.
Cobra
95
R.
Cobra R.
Okay, R. Very strong. And a really good wild card, the BTCC British Touring Car Volvo WAG. Good list. Everyone happy?
The one honorable mention that I actually thought you might pick for yours, and I'm a little sad to not see, is the 27,000 mile 95 Riviera Supercharged that just ended today on the site.
Yeah.
I thought that could have been your daily.
That's really, really good.
Blown Riv.
Be really
Riv,
good.
Baby.
Buick Roadmaster for wagon and also for family hauler would
Family
be really
hauler.
good.
Nobody picked that.
Yeah, I thought that might come up. Impala SS, another one that I really like from that era.
Oh,
Do you like those?
I like those.
Yeah.
Another friend in high school, that was their car. Black,
Really?
95.
2 high school in an SS.
Yeah.
Wow. Where are they now?
I don't know. It was like a funny juxtaposition of personalities.
Okay.
He was kind of a dork and then
Okay.
rolling out a murdered out 95
Ripping.
Impala SS.
Yeah. 2 black stripes out of the parking lot.
One other honorable mention for me that I almost chose as my daily would be a 968 Porsche 6-speed. We've had some really good ones. That would have been 2, Alex. Any other honorable mentions for you guys? Things that you were tempted by?
You grabbed a couple of mine with the ZR1 and that land speed thing.
I should have chosen 456 Ferrari as a family.
I mean,
hauler. That would have been a good move.
For the big boys, I mean, 911 GT1 and EB110 are up there.
Yes, totally.
GT1.
Is GT1 95?
Of course.
I would have been.
I
Really
like
good
the
wild
later
cards.
headlights
Street
anyway,
version.
Strassenweiser.
Strassen-Version. There you go. Let's get a little German. Nobody picked an 850 CSI. Nobody. Yeah.
I thought about
And
those.
thank you for no one picking a McLaren F1. That's it's legit.
Yes, I think that is legit.
Oh, that's kind of a
If we'd all
isn't
been
it?
fighting
Table
over that
stakes.
one, it would have been that would have been too.
Other good
predictable.
95, which I debated, was 300ZX.
Oh, I thought about those for sure.
But that could make an appearance on a different 90s year.
For
Mhm.
sure.
Mhm.
For sure. We've got a lot of these cars have model runs where we can pick them in other years.
My backup sports car was also going to be an FDRX7.
Oh, that's a good one.
Oh man, that's so good. I want one of
I
those.
know.
How many of the picks were 1 year only? Were 95 only?
Oh, great question.
Cobra R was.
Cobra R's only. What about the 993 RS deck? Is that what
95,
years?
96.
So that's 2 years.
You're 95, by the way. You said big wing. I think 95 is small wing only, and you have to live with it for the rest of your life.
Take it back and give me a Aston Martin twin supercharged V8 Vantage instead. Then
Wow. Wow. All right, there you go.
There it is. It's good stuff, right? We've got another year in mind that we're not going to tease right now, but we're going to do more of these. So we're always interested to hear.
it's in the last century.
It's not 19th century.
Good. I want to go head to head with you, Alex, on 29 or 32. Let's go.
Oh, dude, totally. I'm like, we can't shoot our shot too early on the 20s year, but
We got to
we're
wait
doing
for
it.
Ryan Huber to be in town before
Yeah,
we
totally.
42. Let's go.
1906. Yeah. When we get to 1899, we'll know we're running out of years. Well, this was fun. Thanks, guys, as always. And as always, we would love to hear feedback. We'll try to post this everywhere we can. We want to hear everyone else's lists. We want to hear what we were wrong about, why we're morons. We also want to hear lots of praise.
What car is everybody screaming at their
Totally.
McLaren
device?
F1.
It was McLaren
Everybody's
F1.
screaming.
For sure, that was it.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
over.
There's no doubt about that.
Nobody picked it. It's like left on the dealer lot. Nobody
Great.
chose it.
Can't sell them. It's like XJ220s. I saw an XJ220 and an EB110 in Monterey, and I love both those cars. All right, guys. Well, thank you for this, and thanks everyone for listening. Feedback to podcast@bringatrailer.com, and we will catch you next time.